Hi folks, Cyclops FPV here, and this is just going to be a quick video on an update on my X-90 Lite that I built a few videos ago, and I did say that it was a prototype and that I was going to do a little bit of work on it, and I have. So I'll show you what I've done. Now this flies beautifully. This is really a wicked flyer. Now, the first thing I did, as you can see, it's got different props on it. These are bullnose props. They're off, I think they're off a Walkera or something like that, some model. And I haven't flown it with these yet. The props that are on it were from a DM002, and I had to salvage them off that model to try on this. So I didn't have any 55mm props that were good enough to use on this build. So I bought these. I had a lot of trouble getting hold of these props, and the first batch went missing in the post, so I had to get the vendor to send me another set. They should fly well because bullnose props produce a lot of thrust, but with the expense of using a bit more battery power. But we'll give that a go. This flies brilliant anyway. So what have I done since the last video? Well, I shaved the frame down by quite a bit. I've yet to change the camera on this, but for the purpose of making this video, it's going to look similar to this anyway, the one I'm replacing it with. I'm going to put the original Makerfire camera back in, and because as this is the worst FPV camera in the world, it's bad on every level. So as you can see, if you remember from the last video, I had the wires coming out the top. Well, this has been reworked now, and the wires I've run underneath and just taped them down. Now I did try the little elastic bands that you get with the original model, but they felt a bit floppy on this, and by the time you stretch them over the motors and over the arms, they kind of, well, they'll either snap or they'll just sag. They'll go all baggy. Yeah. So what I did was, if you can see the side of this, whoop, that's never good. If you can see the side of this frame, I've shaved it right down. I've taken the what used to be the battery bay. I've taken that right down, mainly to save weight, and also so the quad would land on the feet without the battery tilting it, for calibration purposes really. That left me with a problem. How do I fit a strap to it? Well, I got two O-rings. You can buy like a set of O-rings. You get like I don't know, depends what sort you buy, but you usually get like about 200-300 in an assorted packet, like in a box, and it's just got different size O-rings in it. And what I done was I used two that were slightly smaller than the frame, and then tied them together in the middle, because by the time you cut the frame down, it's so weak, it's so bendable, that the only thing that's holding it all together is the actual flight board itself, the flight controller inside. So I didn't want nothing too taut to bend the frame, so I had to have something with a little bit of give in it. So I tied a knot in the middle, and these are okay. These O-rings, they don't seem to snap. They're quite robust. So what I did was, where the gummies are, I put behind them, and then sort of like just threaded it through, and then bolted it all down. You have to put them through there before you bolt it down. And I'll tell you what, it was a hell of a job doing as well, because it just kept springing away from me all the time. The other thing I did was I put this piece of foam in there. Now that does two things. That stops water, like if you're landing in wet grass, which there's plenty about this time of year, like the dew and the morning dew and everything, or even the evening dew. You get a blade of wet grass touching the components in there, and that's it, you've had it. So it acts as that, and also it acts as when you're putting the battery in and out, it stops the battery scraping all the internals, all the electrical parts inside. And thirdly, really, it acts as a cushion for the battery as well, so the battery doesn't have such a hard life if you come down hard. Yeah, that's about it really. I just tidied everything up, made sure all the props were were level with each other. As I said, I've got the camera to do. I might change the pigtail at the end. I don't know yet. This has been soldered inside to make it into a kind of mini solid pin connector. I don't really know whether that actually makes much difference, but you know. Yeah, and that's it really. That just took an evening to do. But it still flies just as good as it did when it had everything else on. This is very peppy. And you know, I mean, for what it is, it's a brilliant flyer. It feels like a mini 2S quad, but it's totally different to flying like what it was originally, like when it was a Whoop. So I love flying this. I took it out 6 times over the weekend in the freezing cold. My fingers were numb as anything, but I love flying this. It's got so much authority, but I couldn't do a video on it because the camera image is so poor. At one stage I went out just before it got dark, and I couldn't hardly see. I couldn't hardly see where I was going. So I only went out to blow a couple of batteries really, just to use the battery power up. But yeah, that's it really. That's the finished article. I mean, once the battery's in there, it holds on okay. Like I said, I've done 6 flights on this already, so it's all tickety boo. You know, the strap works okay. It doesn't quite sit level, but the reason being is the knot. The knot sits on top of the battery, and when it's sitting still, it's got a slight little bit of a tilt to it, but you know, it works okay. I also rebound my controller as well, as per the suggestions in the comments on my you know, setting up the radio for the high and low rates. And I have to say, Horizon didn't feel like Horizon to me, and I'm not sure about the PIDs. It felt pretty much the same as you know, as last time. But I did add the timer to a switch. When I arm it now, it sets off the timer for 3 minutes, and then the controller will bleep at the end of that 3 minutes. And then I know I've got anything up to 45 seconds to come back and land. This works on a 350 milliamp an hour battery. And then I've got another switch which I press, and that'll reset the timer. So when I rebind again the next time, it'll go back to 0, and as soon as I arm, it'll restart at 3 minutes and time itself down to 0, and then the bleep will go, and then that'll let me know that I've only got like between 30 and 45 seconds to land. Other than that, that's it. That's all I've done. I'm gonna, once I've got the other camera back in, I'm gonna resolder that, and I should get the a good video out of it then. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's what I've done. Yeah, you should try it. Build one and try it. I'll tell you, they are fly well. I might do a video in the future with these props on it, and I might change the back ones to orange as well to keep in the Makerfire theme, and it'll make it a lot easier to find in the grass as well. And yeah, I'm talking about the grass as well. I have whacked a couple of tree branches with this and that, and it's held up fine. Not not a mark on it, nothing. It's done really well. Anyway, that's my update. Highly recommend building one of these. They really are good, and they fly fantastic on the existing boards, and very easy to replace if you damage anything. Great quad, a lot better than a lot of the quads that are on sale for like twice the money, if you know what I mean. Brilliant. Anyway, that's it, folks. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.